A performance with an alternative message in Kasserine's prison. The rap artist Gladiator was jailed here for 1 year after he got into a fight. He says some of his fellow inmates try to turn him against the government.
They focus on the things missing in your life, on how prisoners are treated, the lack of law, and they transmit a jihadi ideology.
The government says poverty and unemployment help push young people towards ISIL and other armed groups. It admits some Tunisian mosques used to be recruiting grounds, but says the battle for young minds is now fought mainly on the internet.
The Ministry of Religious Affairs is trying out a whole campaign that relies on an army of Facebookers. We will train them in Islamic law so they can fight ideas with ideas and evidence.
The government's keeping suspected fighters in prisons away from the rest of the inmates, and religious teachers are speaking to prisoners once a week. But Kasserine's Member of Parliament is worried that ISIL's reach is already growing.
The leadership of Al-Qaeda in the mountains of Kasserine was wiped out by the security forces and police. They're all dead, so those that are left are now loyal to Daesh.
In March, armed men believed to be linked to ISIL attacked Ben Garden, a town near Tunisia's border with Libya. Like many border towns, Kasserine also has a smuggling network. You can find cheap petrol along the side of the road brought in illegally from Algeria. It's this link between the smuggling of everyday goods and sometimes drugs and weapons that many people are worried about. 1 in every 5 people here are out of work. Many rely on smuggling to survive.
It is a business relationship, a trade relationship. The terrorists don't know the paths from Algeria into Tunisia and from Libya into Tunisia, so they get help from smugglers to infiltrate and enter.
As elsewhere in Tunisia, the police in Kasserine have pulled in hundreds of young men for questioning. Some human rights groups are concerned the clampdown could lead to more recruitment.
The government has to make people understand that you are either with us or against us. The war against terrorism isn't just about weapons, it's also against an ideology. Our weapon is art, the words we say, the microphone we use, and the Quran.
Gladiator is being allowed to take his microphone to 27 prisons around Tunisia. He hopes his words and experience can persuade people to work for change without resorting to violence. Nazanine Moshiri, Al Jazeera, Kasserine.